Got that. Thank you very much for that. Let's put the spotlight on Asian Paints, the stock which is shining in the last hour or so post the numbers. It's been feeling the heat from competition for the last 5 or 6 quarters, but this time it's turned in a steady quarter. Mangalam joins in with the numbers.
Well, if you look at the Asian Paints numbers and the stock price move, it tells you that maybe the worst is behind. Why do I say that? Because, decorative volume growth on a base of 7% has come in closer to 4%, and the street was working with a number of just around 2 to 3%. Yes, if you look at the numbers year on year, there has been a mild decline in the revenue, but the street was fearing a bigger decline. So the revenues of the company have come in at around 8,939 crores. The street was working with a number of 8,835 crores. And for the revenue decline, it hasn't actually seen a bigger EBITDA decline. In fact, the EBITDA has come in at 1625 crores. The street was working with a number of 1600 crores. So that's telling you that the margins have maintained as well, 18.2% versus a poll of 18.1%. On the back of that, the net profit has been absolutely in line with expectations, a little over 1100 crores. The domestic decorative volumes at 4% or nearly 4% is the key highlight of the numbers. And to add further color to the numbers, the management commentary, they've said that the industry has experienced a slight uptick in this quarter, marginally improved demand from urban centers despite monsoon slowing down momentum in June has meant that overall performance for the company has been good. And we have other verticals as well. Industrial coatings did well because of auto and protective coating businesses growing well. So that grew in near double digits. And we had operating margins which were marginally lower on account of higher sales and marketing investments. So there is no fresh negative that has emerged from Asian Paints numbers. And remember, the stock has already seen a correction of almost 30% from the highs, despite the rally that we've seen from the lows. So maybe the worst seems behind for Asian Paints. And not just the Asian Paints stock, but also the entire paint sector. So if you look at the intraday chart of Berger, post Asian Paints numbers as well, the street believes that Berger will go ahead and do one step better. Berger also has moved to the high point of trade. I think we have Prakash Diwan with us. Prakash, on the face of it, these numbers are soft. But given the context and the commentary, it appears that perhaps the worst is behind. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think I wouldn't really read too much into the numbers because, you would need to see whether these numbers hold and set the base for the next quarter to be slightly better. But the commentary is not at all defensive. What you would expect a company to come up with, given how market share is shifting, competitive intensity is increasing, they would have tried explaining why they've not outgrown and all of that. But that doesn't seem to be the case. In fact, they seem quite positive, and the tone that is set is very clearly indicative of the fact that the current quarter ending September could probably be even better. Remember, early monsoon should have impacted volume growth, but this close to 4% is certainly a beat. So, and post this, things could only get better as festive season starts kicking in. So, all in all, looks like a lot of the bad news is probably past us, and the market has reached some sort of an equilibrium in terms of market share as well.
Thank you, Prakash, for joining in.